What's up, guys and girls? Welcome to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the mystery woman once again. I think we may have gotten an update on who this woman is, and a reveal will be coming in the future. But first, who is this mystery woman that I'm talking about? In the God of War novel, it's briefly talked about how Kratos came to Midgard. During his adventures after the comic book series Fallen God, he encountered 3 large wolves and a mystery woman that was in a hoodie covering her face. This mystery woman commanded the 3 wolves to take Kratos to Midgard. If you want to know who I think is those 3 wolves, I put out a theory a little while ago. You can go ahead and watch it. There'll be a link at the end or in the description. But today I want to focus on the mystery woman, who she is and what she was. Now, I believe this mystery woman did know Tyr and that they were very close. On some of Tyr's tapestries, you can see a woman next to Tyr as he goes on his adventures. Now, of course, we all thought this was Faye, but in future lore books, like the God of War Ragnarok cookbook, Tyr admitted that he actually didn't know Faye. Instead, he learned about her through other giants and what Kratos told him after the events of Ragnarok. So whoever this person is, it's not Faye, yet she was very close to Tyr. On Tyr's tapestries, you can see Tyr showing her the Jotunheim door. Now, fast forward to today, we got God of War Ragnarok Valhalla, and there may have been a very small hint on the mystery woman we all know about. There is a moment in God of War Ragnarok Valhalla where Kratos, Mimir, and Tyr were talking about love, and Tyr was very specific about what he thought about it. In this context, Kratos was talking about Faye, Mimir talking about Sigrun, but who the hell was Tyr talking about? Here is that conversation in God of War Ragnarok Valhalla.
Mimir, what you said about love turning you into a better person. I wonder, what if that better person was within you all along, but you could only see it once it was reflected in another? As though love is the feeling of recognizing the potential in our own soul.
You mean to say falling in love is really only about ourselves?
Not only that, one hopes, but the more we can own the part that is about ourselves, the more we can see others for who they really are, and love them, truly, in whatever form that takes.
So it seems that Tyr did love somebody and that this person isn't around anymore, yet he believes that this person made him stronger, more than he was before he met her. Tyr played a big factor in God of War Ragnarok Valhalla, even making an appearance in God of War Ragnarok, and Tyr's voice actor did say that future projects are in the works with his character. It's obvious that Tyr is going to be a major character in future God of War games. But let's go ahead and talk about the woman specifically. Now, because on the tapestry, Tyr is showing her the Jotunheim door, I think we all can assume that the person who grabbed Kratos and this mystery woman has to be a giant. And this makes perfect sense. Tyr had a deep love and affection for the giants. He even betrayed Odin and the other Aesir simply to protect them. Tyr is the one that hid their entire freaking temple in the realm between realms and sealed off access to it. Tyr was one of the first people ever to get his eyes. Those eyes are actually given to him by the giants, and it's the same one Mimir has as well. The giants really relied on Tyr to protect them, and that's exactly what Tyr did, and he was banished for it. Perhaps with his time and relationship with the giants, he has met many over the years, including this mystery woman that he probably fell in love with. However, circumstances must have completely changed this relationship for the worse. We learned in God of War Ragnarok that all the giants actually left Midgard and the 9 realms. They did so by putting their own souls into the marbles and scatter them. Atreus is of course going to find their souls and find the giants and bring them back. Here is Angrboda talking about the giants.
These belong to the giants?
These are the giants. They had a choice. They could stay in Jotunheim, waiting for Odin to find a way in to slaughter them. Or they could hide. My father helped whisper their souls into these. And before he died, he passed them on to me. Because within these, I found peace. Now they are your responsibility.
Are you sure?
Well, that's what my mother saw. You're supposed to know what to do with them when the time comes.
And when's that?
I don't know. Let's head back.
So this could have been the fate of the person that Tyr loved. She could have put her soul in the marbles like some of the other giants, or left the 9 realms entirely. She grabbed Kratos and brought him to Midgard, also traveling with Tyr, so this makes sense because she already has knowledge on other places besides Midgard. If this is the case, whatever Atreus does in the future, it could tie directly back to Kratos and Tyr, the gods of war. At the end of Valhalla, Kratos is looking after the people with his title of God of War or God of Hope, whichever one they decide to go with. I kind of like God of Hope, but since Tyr is pretty much going to be by his side, this will make perfect sense, right? If Atreus comes back and says that he needs help trying to get a specific giant or a group of giants that's being held hostage or whatever in another land, Tyr and Kratos might actually go there. Tyr can discover that maybe it's his love interest and that he found her again because she had to leave with the other giants. You know, it's really cool how they can play with this. But I think that the mystery woman has finally been, talked about for the first time in the actual game, not just the novels. Now, to be clear, the person named Rick, he made the book God of War Lore and Legends, which had a ton of lore in the history and the backstory of the Norse world. The lead writer of God of War 2018, Ragnarok, and Ragnarok Valhalla, he also signed and wrote words in the God of War Ragnarok cookbook, which means everything, all the lore pieces in the cookbook is actually canon. This is why the mystery woman is not Faye, but I will admit, I am a little bit disappointed when Tyr says he actually never met Faye and that he only learned about her through the other giants in Jotunheim. Because if this was Faye, that means Tyr and Faye actually knew each other, which I think is pretty cool. But turns out this woman on the tapestry and in the novel is a mystery, but we just got our first hints. And honestly, now that I think about it, it not being Faye, but instead being a lover of Tyr, I think that makes a little bit more sense, that Tyr would have somebody by his side that he really cares about. And I don't know, I think that it is a pretty cool idea, even though part of me is kind of disappointed. But let me know your thoughts on the mystery woman. Let me know what you think about my brand new theory. I do believe we just got our first hints and that in the future we're gonna learn more about her. I'm gonna be out of here. Thank you guys and girls for listening. Deuces.